I'll never forget the night I met the boldest raccoon in the county. It started out quiet. One of those crisp evenings where the fire burns low and the woods seem to hush themselves, like they're settling in for sleep. My buddy Sam and I had hiked all day, set up camp by a lazy little creek, and were congratulating ourselves on a pot of chili that had turned out far better than either of us expected. We leaned back in our camp chairs, bellies full, the stars winking down at us, and figured life couldn't get much better. That's when we heard it, a soft rustle, the kind of sound that makes you glance over your shoulder, just to be sure you're alone. At first, I thought it was the wind, shaking loose a few dry leaves, but then came another noise, a distinct clink, the unmistakable sound of metal on metal. My eyes went straight to the picnic table, where we left the pot of chili, lid balanced on top, and sure enough, there he was, a raccoon. Not just any raccoon either. This one had the swagger of an outlaw and the determination of a miner striking gold. He was up on his hind legs, tiny black paws working the lid like he'd done it 100 times before. Sam and I froze, half in awe, half in disbelief. "You seeing this?" I whispered. Sam just nodded, mouth hanging open. The raccoon gave the pot one last tug. The lid clattered to the ground, and before we could even get to our feet, that bandit had his entire head buried in our chili. I swear I could hear him smacking his lips. Now, most folks would have hollered, clapped their hands, maybe thrown a stick. Not us. Sam jumped up like a cowboy catching a runaway calf and went charging toward the picnic table, waving his arms and yelling. I figured the raccoon would bolt into the brush. But no, this rascal lifted his chili-smeared face, gave Sam a look that said, "You and what army?" and went right back to eating. That set me off laughing so hard I nearly fell into the fire pit. Sam, though, was dead serious. He grabbed the pot handle and gave it a tug, trying to slide it away. Well, that raccoon latched on with both paws and leaned back with all his might. It turned into a full-blown tug-of-war, one determined man against one chili-crazed raccoon. I'll never forget the sight. Sam straining, teeth gritted, chili splattering on his shirt, while the raccoon growled like a chainsaw. And then, with one final yank, the raccoon won. Pot toppled off the table, chili sloshed everywhere, and Sam stumbled backward right into the dirt. The raccoon, now half covered in beans and tomato sauce, scooped up a chunk of chili-soaked cornbread we'd left on the side and bolted toward the woods like he'd just robbed a bank. Sam sat up, face red, shirt ruined, and muttered something I probably shouldn't repeat here. Me. I was doubled over, laughing so hard I had tears in my eyes. The woods echoed with it, along with the sound of that raccoon triumphantly crunching cornbread somewhere out in the dark. That was when we realized the chili wasn't the only thing he was after. Our bag of marshmallows was missing too. We figured the raccoon had bolted for good, marshmallows and all, but we were wrong, dead wrong. About an hour later, after we'd scraped together a sad supper of half-burnt hot dogs, I caught a glint in the firelight. Two glowing eyes low to the ground, just beyond the ring of light. "Sam," I whispered, nudging him, "our bandit friend is back." Sure enough, out from the shadows he waddled, belly probably sloshing with stolen chili, face still crusted with beans. And what did he have clenched between his teeth? A single marshmallow, dangling like a prize. He strutted right into camp like he owned the place, sat down on his haunches, and started munching, slowly, deliberately, as if daring us to try and take it. Sam was still sore from losing the chili, so he grabbed a stick from the fire, waving it like a torch. "All right, you little thief, party's over." But the raccoon didn't flinch. He just popped that marshmallow into his mouth, chewed, and then, this part I swear I'm not making up, he reached into the shadows and pulled out another. The scoundrel had a stash. Now I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. Sam, on the other hand, was determined to reclaim at least some dignity. He lunged forward, but the raccoon darted up the nearest tree, bag of marshmallows clutched in his paws. From a low branch, he stared down at us, stuffing his cheeks full like he was at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Every time Sam shook the tree trunk, a couple marshmallows tumbled down like snow, and the raccoon scrambled higher, still chomping away. By the end of it, Sam was covered in sticky white fluff. Our marshmallow bag was in shreds, and the raccoon sat up in the crook of a branch, licking his paws like the king of the forest. I swear I've never seen such smug satisfaction on an animal's face. And just when we thought it was over, he decided to drop one last marshmallow straight onto Sam's head, like a victory flag planted on conquered land. You'd think after winning the chili pot and half a bag of marshmallows, that raccoon would have called it a night. But no, he must have decided we were easy pickings, because around midnight, the real trouble began. I woke to the sound of zippered teeth grinding slowly, like someone sneaking into the tent. At first, I thought it was Sam, but then I caught a whiff of something foul and musky, nothing like campfire smoke or damp nylon. I cracked one eye open, and there, half inside our tent flap, was the masked bandit himself. His little paws were working the zipper down with a precision that chilled me. Sam had left a bag of trail mix by his sleeping bag, and that raccoon was zeroing in on it like a guided missile. I sat up too quick and bonked my head on the tent pole, which made Sam stir. "What now?" he groaned. I pointed to the flap, and when his eyes adjusted, he let out a yelp. That was enough to send the raccoon scrambling inside the tent completely, landing right on Sam's chest. Sam flailed, blanket flying, as the raccoon skittered over him like a furry bowling ball. Chaos erupted. The raccoon dove into the corner, ripping into the trail mix, peanuts scattering like hailstones. Sam shouted. I tried to shoo it out with my sleeping bag, and in the middle of it all, the raccoon sat calmly, shoving handfuls of raisins into his mouth as though nothing in the world could bother him. Finally, Sam managed to grab a boot and wave it around menacingly, which was enough to send the raccoon darting back out the flap. But he didn't leave empty-handed. No. He strutted off into the dark, carrying half a sock in his teeth, prize dangling like a trophy. Sam collapsed back down, muttering about curses and varmints. Me. I couldn't stop laughing. The whole tent smelled faintly of peanuts and raccoon musk, and I knew we weren't getting another wink of sleep that night. Outside, the little bandit rustled around in the leaves, probably planning his next raid.